friends. I'm going to share with you today some of my tips of what I do for good foot health. And I'm going to talk about internally what we can do for our feet and cosmetically what we can do for the appearance of our feet. It was interesting that last week one of my friends sent me a message, and she was asking me about what supplements to take for foot issues, because I'm always talking about I have feet issues, and I've discussed what those issues are, which I'll get to in a minute. And she was talking about she does stretches for her plantar fasciitis, and that's one issue that I have with my feet. I have that. And then I was trying to explain to her, really for plantar fasciitis, it's really the stretches that you have to do for the feet. As far as the supplements go, and I do take supplements because I have neuropathy. Neuropathy is the nerves in your feet begin to die off slowly, and it causes pain because it causes burning. It causes like a numbing feeling. Even like the tops of your feet will get itchy, that sort of thing. Neuropathy is found very commonly with people who are diabetics. However, there are folks who are non-diabetic who can get this, and it's an inherited issue with the feet. My grandfather and his brother had it, and I remember when I was growing up, my grandfather talking about his feet hurting really bad, and this is when they were first, trying to find different ways of treating it. I remember my grandfather had these little electrode things that they put on, because they tried pulsating a little bit of electric charges into the feet, thinking that that would help and that sort of thing, and it never did, because that's not what works. My grandfather and his brother, they were not diabetics. So it happens even to people who are not diabetics. My mother also inherited neuropathy. She is not a diabetic. I have an aunt who inherited it. She is a diabetic, because diabetes does run on my grandmother's side, but this issue with the feet runs on my grandfather's side. And I have it. I don't hear any of my cousins talking about it. I don't hear my brothers talking about it. So I think, as far as all those grandchildren go, I'm the only one with it. So it just happens. So what can we do for the nerves dying in the feet to help it, so there's not a lot of pain and everything? Well, there are meds that you can go on. Even diabetics are put on certain medications, but I try to steer away from all of these drugs. I mean, you see the commercials on television for all these different drugs coming out, and it causes this, and if this side effect, 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 and even sometimes you hear the word can cause death. So it's like, I don't want to be a guinea pig in trying all these new drugs that are out. I'd rather just try to go the way of supplements, or or whatever else that would help before I turn to that, chemicals, in other words. So anyway, I was talking about neuropathy a few years back, and my friend who I've met on Facebook, and she is a subscriber also on YouTube. Actually, I met her on YouTube first, but we're friends both places, and she heard me talking about it, and she said, "Sandy, I can help you." And she sent me a message, and she told me of all of these supplements to take, because her mother also has neuropathy, and her mother is not a diabetic. So it happens even with people that are not diabetics, is my point. And she has a good friend who's a doctor, and her daughter's a doctor, and so she gave me a list of supplements. I'm going to share that with you. So for any people who have neuropathy, you've got the tingling in your feet, the burning in your feet, itching on the top of the feet, Those are like the symptoms, okay? I will tell you now the supplements that I take. You have to take them 4 times a day. So if you have a pen and a paper, you can write all this down. I buy one of these little, it's a week's worth for, medicine, people who take meds. So obviously I'm doing the first 4. And I just put my meds in here daily. So this is what I take. MSM, which is, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but MSM, and you need the 1,000 milligrams. You're going to take this 4 times a day. So when you're filling up your thing every day, you put 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next thing is vitamin B1, 100 milligrams. This also is 4 times a day. So when you put your MSM, you also do 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. The next thing is serapeptase, which is this. How many milligrams is this? It doesn't say. But anyway, it's serapeptase. This you're going to take 3 times a day. So I put it in the first 3 slots of my medicine holder thing there. Then you need wheat germ oil. This you're going to take 2 times a day. So usually I skip the first slot and I take it here and here, right there, because you don't want to get too many pills at one time. You want to kind of break it up. The next thing that you need is potassium gluconate, which is 550 milligrams. This you take once a day. And you need alpha lipoic acid, and how many milligrams? 300 milligrams. Okay? You're going to take this once a day. So these 2 I usually save for my last slot over there, because these are getting kind of full. You don't want to be, taking a whole bunch at one time. 3 to 4 pills at a time is enough, so I split it up. But that's what I take. I take it every day. It does help. Do the symptoms completely go away? No. You'll have real good days. You feel nothing. You're fine. Then you have other days that, by the end of the day, you sit down and it's like, oh, a little bit of burning here, but it's not too terribly bad. It's livable. When I don't take those supplements, the pain is unbearable. It really is bad. Even at night, I have a hard time falling asleep. I can't sleep, and I'll stay up all night because it just hurts so bad. The other thing to do when you're taking these supplements, and even if you have plantar fasciitis, you want to get off of your feet, okay? It's not good to be on your feet all day long. Now, if you're a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, somebody like that you have to be on your feet all the time, even those folks need to try to go take some breaks now and then and go sit down. And that's what I do during the day. I stay on my feet, and I'm cleaning, I'm running around doing it, whatever, running errands. But I try to make sure that I go and I sit down. And that's when I grab my laptop and I'll go check for messages. I go see what's new, on the internet, and that sort of thing. And I just sit there for 20 to 30 minutes. And then get back up and resume whatever you have to do. But you need to get off your feet. Now, as far as plantar fasciitis, you can even look up on YouTube. That's what I did. Just type in your search bar, plantar fasciitis, and they give you some stretches to do for your feet. And then they have another thing where you can take like a tennis ball, or you can take like, I don't know, some sort of a bottle or something, where you take your foot and you just roll over it. You set the ball or the bottle, into the center part of your foot there, where you just roll. That really does nothing for me. I tried that. It really, it might work for some people, but it does nothing for me. I find what works best. I go over to my staircase and I hold on to my staircase and I just get on the first step and I just lift. You go up on your tippy toes and down. Tippy toes, down. And then I'll put one foot down onto the floor, leaving the other foot on the step, and the same thing. It's just up on the tippy toes and down, tippy toes down, and I just do that. If you do those stretches several reps at a time, for like a minute or two, that's it. Later in the day, stretch them again. Plantar fasciitis, pretty basically, is really, it's a lot of inflammation in your feet, and that's what's causing the pain. It's swelled up in there, so you need to get that down, and the best way to do it is to just really do stretches. The other thing is getting a good pair of shoes. Now, I will just tell you what I do. I go to a store, it's called the Walking Company. I don't know if they're all over the United States, I don't know if they're in Europe, but find a shoe store that they specialize in special shoes that even like doctors wear. When you've gone to like the doctor's office or the hospital and you see doctors and even the nurses, and they look like they're clogs or Crocs or something. They even sell those at the Walking Company. They're just designed to cushion and lift the arches. That's what the problem is. We bear too much weight down, and there's not the support underneath the arches. So that's what the problem is. Plantar fasciitis, even runners will get that and everything too. And again, it's a lack of arch support. So you need to go to a good shoe store that they will specialize in good tennis shoes or other sorts of shoes where they have the arch built up. And also at the Walking Company, and I buy my shoes, I think they're Arrows, but I also buy the inserts. I take the inserts that come with the shoes, I take those out, and I buy the other ones that you can get. I think they're like $55 or $60. It's expensive, but it's worth it. The tennis shoes will be even a little bit more expensive. The inserts will be a little bit more expensive, but overall, for the care of your feet, it's going to be worth it. But the inserts that I buy, the arches, they're higher. They're built up to cushion your arches. I also bought a pair of flip-flops over there a couple summers ago. Let me show you those. Okay, and those shoes that I told you, they're not Arrows, they're Abeos, A-B-E-O. And that's what these flip-flops are. Now, my flip-flops are dirty because I wear these outside when I'm going outside. But they were actually really nice when I first got them. They were kind of glittery here and everything, but I didn't buy them, for, dress or anything like that. I bought them for when I'm on my feet all day, especially being outside if I have yard work to do and everything. But I don't know if you can see it here, but you see where the arch is raised right here. See that? Let me show you again. See, the arch is raised right here. So that's when you buy the inserts, they're like that too. That arch is raised. So when you get a good shoe that they're built for a higher arch, and then you put that insert in there and it lifts your arch up even more, that's what you need. So for my friend Marissa that asked me about the plantar fasciitis, that's what I told her. She was asking me for the supplements. She doesn't need supplements. Plantar fasciitis, you don't need it. You need to protect the arches of your feet, especially going to be on your feet all day. So I told her to go to the Walking Company if she has that store in her area. If not, there's got to be another store. Even if you call a foot doctor's office and ask them where they recommend they send people to go to get a good pair of shoes with inserts. And I even think doctor's offices sell those too. So check into that. But if you have neuropathy, then that's when you want to take the supplements, because the supplements are repairing the nerves that are dying. That's why you're taking them, because your nerves are dying and you want all of that to be repaired. So that's what that does. So that's for the internal part of the feet. So now let's talk about the outside of the feet, especially because it's summer and people got sandals and flip-flops and all of that. Make sure, you keep your toenails trimmed nicely and You know, if you are gonna put nail polish on, you know, to make everything look nice, that's nice, and that's for the front part of your feet. But not everybody does the back part of their feet. Now, I'm one of these people anyway. I don't like cracked heels, and I get cracked heels a lot. I like to go barefoot, and so I'm outside. When I'm not wearing my flip-flops, I'll go outside barefoot. I try not to go barefoot anymore, but for all of my growing up, from childhood, teenage years, all through my 20s and my 30s into my early 40s, all summer when I was home, that's what I did, barefoot, because I just like being barefoot. Okay, so over time, you'll get cracked heels. For folks that are carrying a little bit extra weight, sometimes that also causes the cracked heels. So we get cracked heels for different reasons, okay? But sometimes, you know, the ladies aren't taking care of their cracked heels, and even fellas too. But let me tell you what I do to remedy that, okay? So sometimes in the winter, well, this last winter I didn't do it, but in the past, it's kind of like I don't want to be bothered with my feet. You know, I'm wearing socks all the time. I'm wearing, you know, tennis shoes or whatever. When I go outside, boots. I'm not wearing flip-flops or anything. Nobody's really seeing my feet. And I don't keep up on, you know, the pedicure and all of that on my feet. And so over time, those cracks and calluses can get a little bit thick where a file just doesn't take it down. So I have this gadget, and it's got this like little scraper thing, and it doesn't hurt. Look, see? I'm doing that, it doesn't hurt. But it will catch on to anything that's sticking out, and it slices it off. And I've never cut my foot on this, by the way. Also, when I stick my finger in here, it's got a little file. I've tried using this. I don't like it. It's a little bit too rough. I got this over at CVS, and it's called Tweezerman, the Tweezerman products over at CVS. That's where I got this. So I made sure this last winter that I kept up with my feet so that I wouldn't have to do all this. And if you let it go and get the buildup and everything of the callus and all of that sort of thing, it just takes longer to get your feet back in shape by the time that, you know, the warm weather comes. So I just find, you know, once a week, if I keep up with my feet, I don't need to do this. So what do I do then? At least once a week in the winter, but a couple times during the week in the summertime, just to make sure everything stays nice and smooth. Well, you can just get a file. This, I got this over at CVS. It's Beauty 360, and this is the rougher side, this is the finer side. So I'll just, you know, take that and just go like this, and then, you know, like that, both sides. I use this sometimes. I don't use it all the time because I got one of these Almopay things, and I keep extra little things here because I find that these things, after maybe, I don't know, about once a month, I need to change them. It will still feel a little bit rough, but if you're finding that you're not seeing it working on your feet as well, your little tread things here, they're just too dull. You need to replace them. But you just turn it on, and you know, you just do this, and then it like sands all of that. And I'll just, you know, keep going one way if you can. Some places you might want to go like this. So I use this. If I use this at least twice a week, I don't need this, and I don't need this. I usually only use these when I get lazy in the winter, you know. So again, when I did get this last summer, and I kept up with this even in the winter, I still did it at least like once a week. I found if I did this, the cracks were gone, the calluses were gone, my heels were nice and smooth all the time. Now, in addition to doing this, you do need to put something on your heels, especially if you have cracked feet. I heard that this Gold Bond cream was good, and I have used it, and it works. It's good. But this is now, though, my second choice to go to, because I have heard of O'Keeffe's. Have you ever heard of O'Keeffe's hand cream? Okay, O'Keeffe's hand cream is in this green tube. You can find it at the drugstores, Walgreens, CVS. You can find it at Walmart. I don't know if you can find it at Target or not. I don't really shop at Target too much. But anyway, I've always heard this is so good. And so, you know, I did buy some of this, and I saw that they had the foot cream. I have used a whole tube of the foot cream. The foot cream is in the blue tube. This thing was like a little miracle in a tube. You know, I have been using other lotions, and sometimes you could still see like the cracks on your feet a little bit, even though you smoothed them out as best as you could. Then I heard about this Gold Bond, and I tried this for a short period of time before I was at CVS, and I saw the O'Keeffe's, and I saw the blue tube next to it, and I thought, well, if this O'Keeffe's is supposed to be really good and people are swearing by it, I'm going to try their foot cream. And the foot cream will even say on the tube that it's even highly recommended for people who are diabetics, because diabetics will even get the cracked feet and all of that sort of thing. And so I've gone through a whole tube of it, and they didn't have any tubes the last time we went to go get it. They also sell it in this little tub. So I've been using this, and I'm telling you, at least twice a week, if you just use this, but every single day, put this on. I use this, I try to put this on every single day. So like after I've had my shower, and you know, I let, you know, my feet air dry really good for a little while. Then I'll just put this on my feet, put my socks on for the night, and then it keeps my heels nice and smooth. And the cracks, some of the cracks in my feet look like thin little hairlines. Others of them, they're just completely gone. So it's just maintaining. That's what you have to do. So try to keep maintaining in the winter. This, because it's a little faster, you don't have to spend a lot of time on your feet. If you get one of these things, then you're good to go. Like I said, a couple times a week, use that. Put on a good foot cream. I recommend either one of these. And if you get a little lazy in the winter, and sometimes we do, I do it too, like I said, just make sure you have a good file, and make sure that you have one of these things. Or if you're just going to start on this and you've got real bad calluses on your feet and everything, make sure you get these. Start with these first, and then, I don't know, maybe about after a week or so, then switch to this, and just make sure that you have your foot cream. And by putting this on every day, it repairs. It doesn't just make your feet soft. See, what I find about this, or if you try other lotions are just going to keep it soft. But then by the next day, you can still see a little bit of like where you've had cracking in your feet. This is supposed to help alleviate that a little bit, but this did not work as fast as this. I really recommend this because it says, not on this, because it has packaging with it, but when you buy it in the tube, it says on there it's for quick relief for cracked feet, and it did work quickly. I mean, I noticed within the first week, and then by the second week, by using it every single day, I was looking at my feet. My heels were just so smooth. They were like little, I don't want to say baby's feet, but like when I was younger, you know, just nice smooth heels again and everything. So anyway, I've been rambling. That's what I do for my footsies. So I hope any of these tips will help you. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye.